In today's episode, Cathy asks, can an in-person talk be adapted for a digital experience? What skills are different for virtual presentations? A lot is different. And the most important thing I think to keep in mind is that a virtual presentation, when you are, as we are right now, talking to each other, well, I'm talking to you, I guess, is that it's not a stage, right? Look around you right now. How many other people are watching this with you? It's not many, right? When you're on stage in a big room, it's like there's 100, 1,000, 10,000 people all there. And there's a definite different energy. And the language that you use will reflect that. You walk on stage, hey, folks, great to see you, right? When we're on a channel like this, I go, hey, folks. And you're like, what folks? It's me in my office, right? It's me on my phone. It's only me. So from a communications perspective, one of the biggest changes that public speakers have had to make and should make, and if you're doing a talk, you should make, is that you're not talking to a room full of people. Even if you see 25 heads on the little Zoom interface or whatever, from the customer's perspective, you are talking just to them. It is a one-to-one conversation to them, especially on a webinar. Like Zoom calls, you can at least see, the floating heads. On a webinar, where there's, you technically see the list of attendees, 125 people or whatever listening, but it really is only you and the speaker. So as a speaker, you have to change your language, you have to change your mannerisms, you change the way you speak when you're talking this to an audience one-to-one. I changed a lot of what I do with my videos when I realized that it's just you and me, right? Even language like that, it's not just me and my audience, right? That's me, and assuming it's a one-to-many relationship. But when we're talking like this, it's one-to-one. It's just you and me having a conversation. One of the challenges that people are going to face, that speakers have a really hard time with in a virtual environment, is the lack of feedback. In a room full of people, you can see, is everyone on their phones, right? Are people holding their phones up taking pictures? Are they, taking photos of your slides? You can tell when people are engaged. In a virtual environment, it's very difficult to do. So as a speaker, one of the things you've got to get real comfortable with is talking to nobody, right? Talking to an audience that isn't there. A silly trick that some people do and enjoy doing is they'll take an actual photo of somebody they respect, and they'll put it right next to their camera, and they'll talk to that photo, and it helps them make the mental connection that there is somebody on the other end of this piece of plastic and glass and metal, and it helps direct the conversation and the feeling, because your brain is thinking, well, I do see a person there. That helps. Just like with a Zoom call, one of the things I recommend you do is like these little boom arms here, you can put a camera on them, and then you can move that around. I like to put the camera in the middle of the Zoom window, so that I'm looking at the Zoom window and I'm seeing the people as I'm talking to them when I do like classes and things. Other things that change, there is a strong prohibition against having more than like 10 words on a slide for on-stage talks. The reason is simple. Our brains are language-based brains and image-based brains, left, right, whatever you want to call it. The language processor is a serial processor in our heads. We can only interpret one language stream at a time. That's why if two people are talking at the same time, it's very hard to make out what they're saying. But you can look at two different images at the same time, right? You can go to an art gallery and see like a wall full of images. You can hear a bunch of different sounds in a piece of music because that part of the brain works differently. When we're on stage, I want people listening to the words I'm saying and not reading off of the slide. In a virtual environment, that's different. There is no person to pay attention to, and so you can have a few more words on a slide, and that actually directs the audience, gives them something to do. If it's just a slide of like a picture of your dog, which I have a fair number of, that's fine, but then I'd better be an even better speaker, even more entertaining, a different tone, so that people are engaged with that. Because at that point, if it's just a slide and a voice, you're basically a radio show. Right? At that point, you're a radio show with a billboard outside. You are not a speaking human being. That can be helped by having like little picture-in-picture, persons, the webcam running that shows that there's actually a person there. When possible, do stuff live. A lot of shows, a lot of conferences have gone to canned talks, and that's okay, because it certainly is a very uneven experience based on technology people have at their houses about what kind of content you can deliver. But if you can, do stuff live. If you can, do stuff with tons of Q&A. Virtual environments are great for that. There's a chat room. One of the challenges we have with on-stage talks is you don't want people just raising a hand in the middle of your talk saying, hey, how does this work, right? But you can absolutely have that happen in the chat for a virtual experience and have people ask questions as they have them. Like, oh, yeah, that's a question I wanted to ask. And if you create that experience and you're amenable to that experience when you're talking, you can either weave it into the talk itself or have a longer Q&A. Like if you are talking, you're 16 minutes in, and the chat is filled with questions, you can say, okay, you know what? I'm going to change my talk a little bit, shorten it up, and so we can tackle all these great questions that came in. So you have to be very flexible to be able to deliver a lot of value like that. If you see there's a ton of Q&A engagement already happening during the talk. The same is true for you can use interaction features. So there's a lot of features in virtual environments. People can raise their hands and they can put little emojis in the chat and stuff like that. You can stimulate some of that engagement to ask people to pay attention, essentially. But at the end of the day, it's still a conference call. Right? It's still radio a lot of the time. At best, it's a YouTube video. It is not the same as being in a conference room. And the big thing behind that is that you've not taken that audience member out of their comfortable environment that they're used to with all the distractions of an office or a home office or whatever. And their mindset is different. They are not in the mindset of, I'm here for 2 days to learn this thing. Their mindset is, I'm popping in for 45 minutes between meetings to learn this thing. And so you have to remember that and engage them where they are in that context. Like, hey, folks, if you're here, the dog is barking or the kids are crying, cool. Step out as you need to. This is being recorded. A copy will be provided to you. And one tip that I find super helpful is to make sure that you provide your materials in multiple formats when you're done. So provide the slides, yes. Provide the audio. So if somebody wants to re-listen, they can, which means you have to think about how heavily does your presentation rely on visuals. Provide the video, the recording, and provide an AI-based transcript or a real human transcript if you want to pay for it. But an AI-based transcript. So if someone just wants to read through the talk, people read way faster than we talk. People can read up to 400 words a minute. We are capped pretty much to be intelligible at about 150 words a minute. So providing that transcript can help someone find just the part of the presentation they want. You can take a digital presentation and slice it up in a whole bunch of different ways and provide a lot of post-event value. So that's how to adapt presentations for the virtual world. There's a lot you can do. There's a lot you should do. But it starts with recognizing that you're not talking to a room full of people anymore. If you have follow-up questions, please leave them in the comments box below. Subscribe to the YouTube channel and the newsletter. I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Want help solving your company's data, analytics, and digital marketing problems? Visit trustinsights.ai today and let us know how we can help you.